So thank you for coming to Miso and Shoko's Making online seminar. This is provided by Momiji Healthcare Society and Japanese Social Services, also supported by Ms. Shinobu Ejima and also Family Talks Forum for the peer. So I talked about a little bit about how to use Zoom functions for this seminar, so I'm not gonna go over again, but you're muted. So please keep being muted. We just want to avoid any unwanted noises, and then that might disturb, people from hearing the speaker's voice. So let us introduce ourselves.
Okay. Okay. So hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Keiko, and I'm working as a client intervention worker at the Momiji Healthcare Society. The people who don't know about Momiji is the independent apartment building / supported building for primarily Japanese Canadian seniors. We are located at the Kingston Road and the Markham Road in Scarborough. So we are providing services for seniors and caregivers who are looking after for seniors. Right now, during the COVID, we are closing most of the services right now, but we are thinking to reopen some of the program. I think beginning of September, gradually we are having some of the program for the tenants. So at this moment, we are providing online exercise program. It's called slow movement exercise, which we are doing every Friday at the 11 o'clock. Fortunately, we do not have anybody who has a positive case at the Momiji's tenants and also the staff or family caregivers. So I hope that we're gonna stay the same. Yeah, so enjoy. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Keiko. And my name is Chie. I'm a social worker at the Japanese Social Services. JSS is a nonprofit agency providing counseling and programs in Japanese and English. We are located on the second floor of Japanese Canadian Cultural Center, but we're the different agencies. We often be misunderstood. JCCC is a bigger, JCCC has JSS inside, but that's not true. We're a very different organization. Mission is very different. We're just a tenant of JSS. And right now, the office is closed due to the pandemic, so as many agencies, I think. And but we are providing services through the remote services, and our counseling services are done through the phone or email or a virtual session just like this, and you can call them, and the phone goes to our counselors directly, so you can talk to them about whatever you need. And the programs are offered through online as well. So just like this one online that we've been doing with Momiji since I think June, twice a month. And that's for everyone to join. And we also have the regular program moved to the online, mostly like the social purposes, like hot lunch program. Usually that's provided to the seniors gathering at the JCCC, but because nobody's gathering anywhere, so that we can't even cook the lunch for them, or we can't even have the volunteer at our places, so that we have just a social gathering for the team of the volunteers of hot lunch monthly. And craft club, we have that as well, but then we can't have the craft because it's very difficult in terms of the infrastructure difficulties, so that we have the social program for the people who love craft and arts. That's a monthly as well. We have the singing club for the seniors. That's also through online. And we have the single mothers program monthly. So if you have any questions or any information you'd like to seek, please let us know. Okay, so that's from us, and I'd like to introduce our speaker today, Ms. Wakaba Hoshino. I will just ask.
Hello, hi, how are you? It's kind of weird, I'm just talking myself here. I'm going to share my screen 1 second. Here you go.
Maybe you can talk about about
Okay,
yourself.
Hold on, I'm just going to do here. Hi, my name is Wakaba Hoshino. I am going to introduce myself. I'm growing up. Sorry, I'm gonna move my screen this side so I can see everybody's face. Hi, I grow up. I'm from Saitama. I was born in Tokyo, but I was growing up in Saitama. I hope somebody sees flying me to Saitama, the movie. I don't know. This is the mark. Anyway. Anyway, so I grew up with a farmer, like my grandparents are farmer, and a professional cooker, which is my dad. He owned a restaurant, and I came here from Japan in 1995, studied fashion design, worked as a designer for more than 10 years here. It was amazing. And being a mom of 2 children, 10 and 14 now, since I had a first child, became more interested in the slow food movement and fermented food for health-wise, and also I got more interested in the environment issue as well. So 3 years ago, I started with other mom, local Kojiko, that's a fermented food. I make miso. I make homemade miso and a Koji product, fermented product to the public now. It's a very, very small business. I did a little shop at the JCC Spring Festival, I don't know, Haru Matsuri or something like that. I'm sorry if I don't remember the name, but I did. And then I am actually, as a student at the York University, studying at social work. I'm very happy to be here and talk to you guys today. Yay, okay. So next, let's talk about, so what are we going to do today? Learning the difference between red miso, white miso, and yellow miso. I think a lot of people knows in a store, you see those different, miso, and then you don't know what is what. So I'm just gonna summarize it very quickly, nothing special. I'm not gonna go super detail about it. And also you're gonna watch the video about how to make miso. There is a YouTube video, 2 video. It's very, very clear cut, like it's easy to understand. So I'll show you, and then after that, I'm gonna demonstrate you how to do it. So, yes, and I'm really worried that we don't have enough time, so I'm rushing, so okay? If you have anything, just let me know, like going like this, maybe I can see you guys. Okay, so what is miso made of? So it's just very, very simple. Soybeans, salt, and a koji mold. So this is a one a lot of people wondering, what is koji mold, right? So this is Aspergillus origin. That's the name, Latin name, or like a real name. So rice koji, it's a mold. So rice koji is steamed rice. So you steam the rice and then occurate with fermentation culture. So it's you put the powdery koji fungus to the rice and you fermented rice. That's a rice koji. And this is you can made out of rice, barley, or soybean, or any grain. So this is, koji is most important stuff in Japanese seasoning because koji is used for soybean, soy sauce, soy sauce. Soybean koji is used for soy sauce. Sake, alcohol beverage, it's koji is used. Mirin, sweet wine, is used for koji, and koji is used for that, and miso. So like these are 5 staple Japanese seasoning: miso, soy sauce, mirin, the rice, sweet rice wine, and sake, and we usually say vinegar. But vinegar, we don't use the koji, but 4 of them are already used koji. So this is very important stuff in it. So, but it's, so this is, you can see it, but you can see it later. I will show you later more, but this is koji. Okay, so next, I put something wrong, sorry. Okay, here you go. So this is miso map. So this is all, you know, all like in Japan, there is a lot of miso, and then I don't know, you can see very closely. The blue dot is kome miso, which is rice koji use. So you remember 3 ingredients, right? Salt, soybean, doesn't change anywhere. But only difference is the koji, what kind of koji they use. So it's a kome koji, which is rice koji, that's a blue dot. Mame miso, which is soybean, only one place, it's called red miso. This is a real red miso, hacho miso. And then third one, the green dot is a mugi miso, which is barley. Usually Kyushu, the south part of Japan, they use barley. And then actually they use, you know, the sake. Sake is used rice koji, but South Japan Kyushu is shochu, is they use barley koji as well. So that's, you know, it's just a regional thing, and everybody has a preference because your mom made it, or, you know, where you grow up. So it's nothing wrong with, you know, oh, I like this miso better than other miso, because depending on where you grow up and where your, like, you know, usually mom come from too, you know. It could be, you know, you know, my mom didn't go anywhere, but like, you know, it could be my mom is making totally different miso than other, you know, region, but because that's where she comes from and that's what she prefer, right? So it's like a more, and then we eat miso soup almost every day in Japan. It's like a really staple thing. So this is it. So, and so what is different between red miso, white miso, and yellow miso? So white miso is known as sweet or mellow miso. White miso fermented for a short time and lower in salt content. So it's usually around Kyoto or Osaka, you know, the Kansai region, and there's sometimes very specific time too. I think around New Year's, they make sweet kind of miso soup with mochi rice cake in it. That's, I think, their specialty. I think they use more koji in it, and they ferment it very, very short time. It's very specific type. So when you see white miso in a supermarket, it's not really, really, I wouldn't say technical, but when I say white miso, I more consider those specific Kyoto and like very sweet miso. It's different. So the yellow miso, this is very popular one. It's all kind of all over Japan. So it's made out of rice koji. It's a mild type that fermented slightly longer than white miso. I would say more like 8 to 1 year, those the period. Lower, so this is the more popular one, like all over Japan. Red miso, it's called aka miso. A longer fermented miso that encompass any darker red and brown miso. Even I have a same miso, the more I ferment it, it's get darker and darker and darker and darker. And then another one is a very special one around Nagoya, the middle. I don't know, this is very, very small map right now, but in a really dark brown one, that's a Hacho miso. This is very famous from there. It's because koji is different. Koji is made from soybean, not rice or not barley. That's very specific kind. And barley miso, I told you the south of Japan, they use it, made from barley and soybean. It has a strong barley aroma, but it's still mild and slightly sweet in flavor. So those are 4 bigger kind of category, but all depends on where you come from and nothing wrong about it. So yeah, the difference is the color, salt content, and nutrition. Nutrition means people say aka miso, the red miso has more nutrition content, but the more salt in it. Just remember that. And then this is a video I will show you. So this is a manufacturer video, but this is traditional, not traditional, but it's the same way we make. We just make it smaller version of these people. So this is a manufacturer, and then I demonstrate you in front of you how to do this in a smaller scale so that you don't need huge house to do it, okay? So I hope you can hear. If not, just let me know. Can you hear?
Observe each of the steps. First, soybeans are soaked in water overnight. The solid round beans absorb water and swell up. Next, the soybeans are softened by steaming or boiling them. Here are some boiled soybeans. Then, the beans are mashed up. The mash is placed in a blender. Here comes the next layer, rice koji. It's also put into the blender. By the way, what is koji? Koji is obtained from these. Can you see the green grains? A closer look shows a powder-like substance coming out of the grains. This is koji, a kind of fungus that's indispensable for miso production.
If I see it,
the round grains are soybeans, which serve as a nutritional source for the koji fungus. Koji is the key to producing the good flavor of miso. Usually, miso manufacturers purchase commercially available koji fungus, but the workers at this brewery warehouse have adopted a unique approach. They collect and cultivate koji fungus on their own and use it in the production process. This requires additional effort, but the approach produces a distinctive flavor. Where is koji fungus found? As a matter of fact, it lives in the air in the factory. The Koji fungus floats in the air, and once it sticks to the steamed soybeans, it grows perfectly by eating them. The soybeans must be left in the room at a constant temperature for a certain period of time. The string-like substance that appears on the surface of the soybeans is hypha of Koji fungus. In this warehouse, unwanted growth of various toxic fungi, in addition to the Koji fungus, is suppressed using a specific method. After about a month, the soybeans are completely covered with green spores of Koji fungus. White rice powder is added at this point. The workers have adopted a strategy of skimming the Koji spores off the beans along with the rice powder. After sifting, the workers have a smooth and fine powder. The soybeans acting as food for the Koji can't be used to make miso because they lose their nutritional value or become damaged. Here's some rice powder mixed with Koji spores. Next, the workers start the Koji preparation process.
Okay, so that's the explanation of Koji. You kind of understand this is, okay, so I just gonna show you a little bit. I don't know, you can see, this is the powder. Hold on. Here you go. See, do you see the powder? This is a Koji powder. That's what I make Koji out of. And I'll show you the second video. Okay, so this is how to make miso.
Either rice or barley is used in making Koji. In Japan, where rice is cultivated abundantly, a lot of manufacturers make Koji with rice. Koji preparation takes 4 days. The rice is steamed for about an hour. This is done to soften the rice so that Koji fungus can easily grow on it. To cool down the steamed rice, workers place it on a conveyor belt, moving at low speed and expose it to the air. The temperature is lowered to around 30 degrees Celsius. The Koji spores powder is put into a case. Slowly, the powder is sucked into the machine. Inside the machine, the rice becomes dusted with the powder. Then the rice dusted with Koji spores is conveyed to a room. The temperature in the room is kept at 35 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and the rice is left inside for about 40 hours. During this period, Koji fungus proliferates on the rice to produce rice Koji, or rice on which Koji fungus grows. This is how rice Koji is finally obtained. The whitish part is composed of Koji fungus. In this way, 4 days after the start of the process, the rice Koji is finally completed. Next, the soybeans and rice Koji are mixed together. Water and the appropriate amount of salt are added, and then the mixture is blended further. The mixture is pressed firmly so that empty pockets won't develop in the finished miso. This is done to prevent the proliferation of other bacteria. The miso is placed in wooden vats. All that's left is to wait patiently for a year until it's well matured.
木にはですね、その発酵に有益な微生物が住みやすいんですね。味噌っていうのは梅雨と夏の高温多湿のあの時期に一番発酵するんですね。で、よく完熟味って言われますけれども、寒い冬に仕込んだ味噌は当初は全然発酵しないんですよ。ほとんど変わらないわけですね。で、春になって暖かくなって 今申し上げた梅雨と夏の土曜の高温多湿のこの時期に一番発酵して、その次に涼しい秋が来て冬が来てってこう温度が下がっていくんですけれども、これが一番理想的なんです。
The miso is left to stand for a year. So what happens inside the vats? Miso contains lots of substances that are good for our health. They appear when enzymes produced by the koji act on the rice and soybeans. The enzymes break down the soy protein into amino acids. These acids are essential for the body and are a source of good flavor known as umami. Starches contained in the rice and soybeans are turned into sugars through the action of amylase, a digestive enzyme. Miso also contains a lot of glucose, which is indispensable for brain function.
一年で一番寒い冬と一年で一番暑い夏の土曜を体験した味噌っていうのは文句なしにうまいんです。なぜか違うんですね。いいもんができます。そんなんで、焦っちゃいかんということで、味噌は寝て待てと、こういうことですね。
Okay. So this is including, this video was including how to make koji and everything. So it takes for a long time till you get, to get miso, but we don't do that. We just, so you can buy, rice koji. So I'm gonna use rice koji. So this is available in Sanko or Heisei Mart, and you can buy online or you can buy from me, or there's a people make it in Toronto, so you can purchase from there. Because this is a little bit tricky, takes 3-4 days to make it, and then more difficult, more tricky to make it. I don't think it's difficult, but it's just tricky. But this is the how to make miso. So we start from getting koji, and dry soybean and sea salt. So this is, I'm going to make 1 kilogram of miso. Okay, and so this is the thing. And I think you guys going to get this recipe later, I believe. So don't worry about writing out everything, because you're gonna get what you see is you're getting it later. So, okay, I know when I'm student, I'm writing a note and then taking forever to, and it's, the teacher sent it me later, and then, oh, I didn't have to make any note, or so don't worry, you're getting this. Okay, so next. Oh, sorry. So I'm just going to explain to you. Day 1, wash soybeans. So it takes 2 days, but day 1 is nothing. So day 1, wash the soybean, soak soybean for 18 hours. Don't cut it short. So that's important. Day 2, actual, you are making it. I'm doing day 2 version. Cooking soybean, pressure cooker, 20 minutes, simmer 3 to 4 hours. That's what you have to do. So next, mash this after you cook the soybean, mash the soybean, combine soybean, salt, and koji. And next, pack the mixture into the jar. Right now I have just a plastic one. Store the miso and wait for more than 6 months. And then you get miso for yourself. So that's the thing. And yeah, good. So you soak soybean for 18 hours. Drain soybean takes time to absorb moisture to make sure the soybean are cooked through to the core. The soybean is the most hardest to cook in the beans, I think. When you buy, what it's called? Instapot, the longest. It's like, it takes 20 minutes. If it's soaked, 18 hours, pressure cooker. And if it's not cooked, Instapot set 40 yeah, 40 minutes to cook. So it's better to do soak the soybean. So it just gives the example. So soybean from, if you wanna make a miso from 10 o'clock, you need to start soaking the soybean at 4 p.m. on the previous day. So that's just to give you the example of what it's long, you know. And the winter time could be longer. So the guy was saying, you know, winter is the best time to cook. It is true, because when you ferment the food, you don't want to have a bacteria going into your miso, right? So slowly ferment it, and then the summer, going through the summer is the best, but we will do this. Okay. And the soybean, you can see, so this is a dry soybean and it's soaked one. So usually twice bigger or 2.5 times bigger than the dried one. And then the check, so if it's cooked, it's softer, it's better, so you can check like this. So you press the beans. So use the pinky and thumb. It's very hard to do. When you do the left hand, it's a bit harder to do. So if you can, you know, squeeze the soybean, that's the key. That's you. It's time. You can. It can be harder, but I think that's the best. Okay. So now, so you have to smash the soybean. So mash a small amount of hot soybean at a time to make sure they are, you know, consistency. You want to have a good consistency. So I will show you. I don't know. Should I just go through the whole thing here? And then should I switch to my thing? Chie-san or Keiko-san? What should I do?
Whichever you like, but we have a limited amount of time, so you can
Oh, you know
decide.
what? I'm just gonna do.
But like, if you want to show something through your video window, and then as I explained to some participants before the, you know, at the Zoom explaining session, we had 10 minutes before. So you can use a swapping option, swapping button at your right top of your Zoom window. You see that two rectangles together in one rectangle. So you can click that, and then you can switch, and then making the Wakaba's window bigger. And you can switch back with the same button to see the slide bigger.
Yes. So what I'm doing, number 3, smashing the soybean right now. Can you see? So you want to have, so I'm using a masher, the potato masher, but you can use, what it's called. What does it say here? The word doesn't come up.
Food
So,
processor?
yeah, food processor, but it's harder to, it gets stuck sometimes because it's heavy, right? Like, you know, so you have to do smaller amount. The best thing you can do is, you know, when you do, I have, so can you see there, the second one, that's like like meat, you know, when you make a sausage or whatever, you know, those meal thing. I have that for this. So making miso.
So it's like a, yeah, grinder, meat grinder.
Yeah, meat grinder. So they have, so this is a machine one, but you can actually use for hand grinder one. So this, so you mash, so you can just do it by hand. It's not huge enough to do it. So you do that. And, oh, where did it go? Oh, here you go. So this is like a consistency I'm looking for. Okay. And I totally forgot before, when you are cooking beans, this is a koji. You mix. This is salt. You mix it first, this first. It's called Shio. There you go, better, right? So you mix it together well, and very like warm, hot, like, mashed soybeans. Put it there. Oh, sorry. This is, soybean is much smaller, but so those are, so you mix it. So this is number 4, kneading the mixture well. And I am mixing. Sorry, my phone is beeping. Like this. You mix, 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 mix very well. And this is a workout because you really, it's heavy. If this is not a lot of amount, so, but can you imagine you're doing the 20 kilo of this? That's a lot of workout. Anyway, so this is kind of half the mix, but you mix well, and then you make ball like this, and then like container, and then before you do the container, so make sure it's clean. So this is a boca in it. You clean that. Or if you have a glass bowl or anything, you can just boil it and clean it, and then you just start pushing like this. Can you see? Maybe I should move like this. And then this is number 5, making sure removes the air pocket completely, because the air is, once the air is in, it's easier to get the bacteria and grow in there. Air, water, and they like to grow, right? We need the air and water to grow, to survive. Same as any fungus. So we just have to do this. Like this. And lots of people in the big scales, what they do is make a ball like this, and you throw it there so the air doesn't go in. Making hamburger, the patty, some people do that, like, don't want to put the air in. So same idea. Okay, so like this. You can do this way, or because you don't like the air goes in. So another way is you can put in a Ziploc. Yeah, so the air doesn't go in, right? Like you can, so go in like this. So almost, there you go. Never really cook in front of the Zoom, so. So try to make square so that I can take out the air as much as you want, right? Like I want like this. And then you seal it. Still air in it, but that's how, you know, you can do much better job than me, I'm sure. Some people, my daughter is using it. Do you know you put the straw in and you suck out of the plastic bag, the air comes out? That you can do it too. So this is like, you know, somebody taught me how to, like, you know, you put the straw on the very end of it, and then it's like it's same as a vacuum cleaner, right? Like, you know, you suck the air in, in, so that the air comes out, and then you seal it, so it's really airtight. Okay. Or so this is a one way of doing it. So another way is you really push it, right? So push it. So you push the miso down, press down, and you don't want to have any air attached to it. So you don't want to dry out too. So some people use paper, but this is the only time I use plastic wrap. So I just kind of put the plastic wrap so try not to touch the air. And you need a kind of weight to press down. So this is just a salt. Anything is okay to press down. So you just put that like this. And then that's it. And then you store them in a dark place. So I would put, so this is, I'm really rushing, but I made it. But you might get mold. People say, oh, I get mold. What can I do? I give you the secret. This is really secret. Do you know what it is? It's wasabi. Okay. This is, I made October 29th last year. I put wasabi like this. You know the parchment paper or wax paper. Put the wasabi in it. Hold it. Put it with miso. You know what? They don't like any bacteria. They don't like the smell of it. So no mold comes from. This is secret. So it's a good tip.
Hakaba-san, you have 6 minutes.
Okay, so and then this too. Same thing I did with wasabi. And they're not ready, but you can eat it because it's October 29th. So, but I will leave it more. I will. No more. This is making miso. I'm gonna leave it more, but it's getting, looks good. Looks like a miso, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that's like a really, really, really rushed one, but so this is it. So like, you know, you can, I just like, you might have a question like before that, I'm just gonna answer one thing, just, you know, very common. What is rice koji? I told you like rice koji, koji is a steamed rice that have been incorporated in the fermentation culture. I cannot even say the word because I'm Russian, but you can buy them from Japanese grocery store, Sanko, Sandown, and the supermarket in the dry form, and purchase them from online store. You can also order from us, local Kojiko, and those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places you can buy it in Toronto. So model is growing, what should I do? Don't panic, it's okay. You know, if it's on the surface, you can take it over, put the vodka, wipe it, and put it back. Don't panic, it's just try to grow. So, and then at the end, what is a brown liquid from miso? At the end, very close to the end, start to see the brown liquid on top. That's okay, that's a tamari. That's why tamari is very expensive, because it's only get that much. So, yes, so that's a miso. Do you wanna stop here or you wanna do shiokoji as well? Shiokoji. CA-san, どうする?
Maybe very briefly.
Okay.
It's maybe how to make if you have you know, rice koji.
Yes.
It
Okay.
should
So
be
if you have a leftover rice koji from making miso or something, right? Like this is a koji. So you can break down. Maybe it's already comes as a breaking down form. Like, you know, this mine is more like comes as a block, but you can, its dry form is usually more like rice. So you break down like this, and then you, so this is koji 100 gram, koji 100 gram, salt 30 gram, mix it well before even put the water, mix it well, much more, but I'm rushing, so, and then put the water, and then you leave this, you leave this in the room temperature for 10 days, and then every day. So you cover maybe paper towel like this with, or loosely cover on top. So I'll do like this with elastic, because I don't have a cover for this, like this, or if you made it in a jar like this, just loosely tight like this. And then every day, open up, go say hello. It's like a flower and everything. So they are alive, right? So every day you just mix it and say hello. And then 10 days later, you get shiokoji like this. So this you can use, it's a seasoning. So this is a shiokoji, same idea. Instead of salt and water, I use just soy sauce. Soy sauce and koji, 10 days room temperature. And you can make, you can marinate the meat, you can marinate the vegetable and grill it, or I was just making this. You can make a pickles. for one day. It's just cut the vegetable, like, you know, carrot and that, and then you mix it for before, like, you know, 30 minutes before you eat, and then you can eat it. It's really good pickle. That's it. That was so Russian.
Yay, thank you. So I just have to mention one thing that I made a mistake in my PR when I sent out this information, that shiokoji is not used to make miso. I wrote it, you know, shiokoji is one of the ingredients of miso. That was totally wrong, so forget about it. Because Wakaba said that miso doesn't need that much water. Instead, like if it has a lot of water, it wouldn't mold. So just want to make that mentioning. And thank you, Wakaba. If you can pull down.
Yeah. I will.
So
Stop sharing.
I want to.
I have a question.